Together one episode of your favorite soap opera. Entertainment editor Nelson Hauer found out it's an incredible grind as his series on daytime soaps continues.
I don't understand this whole bloody scene, why all of a sudden we've taken such a negative attitude.
Behind the scenes on a soap opera set, it's far more grueling than glamorous. Here at the Hollywood studios of The Young and Restless, the day begins at 7:30, and at that hour, half asleep and without makeup, the actors take the first step in the soap opera assembly line, the dry run-through.
In the dry rehearsal, we are getting blocking, movement. Where to turn, on what word, how many pauses to take between sentences, line changes, word changes. They give us cuts, a lot of technical stuff.
Or I'll probably just say, just hold me a moment.
Okay, so, all right, now you crossed away, Jamie, right? Behind the scenes. Everything that was big with Laurie under the uniform.
You just stare around. I want to tear something.
Wait.
So hold on a second. Don't go.
Go ahead.
Sometimes, when problems with the script can't be worked out in the rehearsal hall, the actors and directors walk through their lines and moves on the set.
Okay, quietly, folks, please, quietly.
One primetime show takes at least a week to produce, movies up to a year. But every day, this cast and crew cranks out another complete soap opera episode. Learning new lines 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year, is the greatest challenge soap opera stars face.
Often the lines are very similar, and you want to say what you had said the day before. So you just get used to remembering them, forgetting them, clearing your mind for the next day, and it's just like a sponge.
Sometimes you have to learn 30 pages of dialogue a day, and that takes, it's like doing a movie a day. We do 5 hours a week, and movies take months to do. Even a nighttime show, I think they film like 10 pages a day. We do 70.
The magic of makeup completes the transformation from actor to character. Then the stars head for the sets. Soon the sets are packed with the cast and crew for final camera positioning and dress rehearsal. The last chance the actors have to put finishing touches on their lines and movements before the taping begins.
Very secretive. It's the Guiding Light, episode 8818, 1B, take one, and very quiet, please, ladies and gentlemen.
Even though the cast and crew are under constant pressure to meet their daily production deadlines, there are lighter moments on the set.
In 5, 4...
Stand by, please.
Ready up on 3.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Queuing up on 3.
When the director records the final live take in the control room, the cast and crew usually have one chance and one chance only to get it right. Some 500 soap opera actors perform under constant production pressures every day of the week. But it's the heavies and the heroes that keep millions glued to their sets. Tomorrow we'll talk with some of the nicest and nastiest characters in daytime television. For the Channel 4 Newsroom, this is Nelson Hauer.
Now that's it for Nola's. Quince. Tapes are good.
They're a larger-than-life look at America's powerful and its poor. Soap opera characters are never dull. Entertainment editor Nelson Hauer continues his series on soaps with a look at the daring and the dastardly of daytime TV.
I play a stripper.
A tycoon, an entrepreneur.
A drug addict.
An upper-class teen. Bad girl in town, but fun.
They're not the kind of folks you find living on Main Street, USA. From the glamorous neighborhoods of the upper crust to the dregs and dreamers on the other side of the tracks, daytime soaps strike a delicate balance, a world in which opposites attract. The rich, the poor, the heroes, the heels. Writers strive to make the characters larger than life, while keeping them close enough to reality to be believable.
The mainstays of all daytime for a long while were the upper middle classes, the doctors, the lawyers, the professionals, people who really had made it. I feel the real drama, especially in a mix of characters like you're mostly dealing with in daytime, is the haves and the have-nots, if you will, the people who want versus the people who already have.
I don't expect any question about it.
I just think it's a wonderful fantasy to be rich and powerful and kind and benevolent, same word, and sensitive and outrageous. This character has those wonderful extremes of our fantasy life that I think that's why people like him. I hope they like him. I like him.
Standing by, very quiet for rehearsal, please.
It takes a villain to make things go. It also takes a hero, but it takes the villain to get things churned up for the hero to do something. The devil always has a charming side. That's one of his ploys to win.
Whether they play a charmer or a cad, the longer the actors and actresses portray these characters, the more they learn what makes them tick.
Erica says a lot of things that people have on their minds and would like to have the nerve to say. She's capable of anything, doing anything, saying anything at any moment, and that, almost anything. And that's exciting for an actress to play, especially over the long run. She's never boring to me.
You like that person?
Yeah,
Nikki?
I do.
Why?
Yeah. I think she's a lot of fun. I didn't used to like her. I used to think she was very naive and you know, couldn't see things right in front of her nose. But she's grown a lot and learned a lot, and she can be bad, but we all can. I can't tell you anymore.
The incredible hold soaps seem to have on their audiences stems in part from the fact that fans are able to experience the trials and tribulations of the show from the comfort of their own living room.
It's that vital blend of rogues and righteous, personality and plots that make soap operas sizzle. Tomorrow, we'll take a look at the eternally evolving storylines on daytime television. For the Channel 4 newsroom, this is Nelson Howard.
How about lunch?
Will you stop it?
What, a coffee break?
Their stories seem to go on forever. Today, entertainment editor Nelson Howard takes a look at the sizzling plots on daytime serials in his special series, An Inside Look at the Soaps.
Daytime's faithful followers tune in to see their favorite characters, but the people who put the shows together say the most important element of a good soap is
continuing stories.
Great writing.
A good story. My desire is to entertain, you know, keep the audience interested, keep them caring about those people. And if we can do that 5 hours a week, we're doing a lot.
For decades, fans have been titillated by steamy storylines focusing on sex, romance, and adventure. But a new element is unfolding on the screen. Actors are now exploring fantasy worlds whose only boundaries are the limits of their characters' imaginations.
Daydreams on Guiding Light.
Fantasy may be the latest dimension in soaps, but reality is still the mainstay. And today, writers are focusing more and more on the pressures and passions of the young.
It used to be that teens just didn't have much of a part. They were just there to look cute. And now they actually have substantial parts.
You?
I have a scene where I'm 16 and I'm going to have sex with my boyfriend. It upsets me a little bit. I don't want to be the cause of an pregnant teenage girl.
Let's say a teenager is contemplating having premarital sex at some point. That stimulus of watching two individuals in bed having intercourse may in fact stimulate to say, well, wait a minute, they're doing it, so it must be okay.
Depends on parental control, I guess, of their own teen, so that's their problem, I'm afraid.
Even though experts and parents are concerned that sex is one of the more dominant themes on daytime serials, the actors believe soaps have become more socially conscious, touching on such issues as alcoholism, drug addiction, and wife abuse.
I got a lot of mail from young people who have been taking drugs and who really learned from that, from the shows that we did. And I think it's sort of an educational thing also.
But when a soap star learns his character might succumb to one of the sudden illnesses that plague so many citizens of daytime, how does that make him feel?
Constant paranoia. That's what it's all about. Sure, I mean, you think you're gonna... Well, a lot of people come and go. So it is in the back of my mind. A lot of people are killed off and go crazy or whatever. That's how they get rid of them.
But there are daytime stars who seem to last forever because of undying audience loyalty. Tomorrow we'll examine how fans have turned soaps into a billion-dollar business, and we'll look at how their excessive enthusiasm has changed the lives of their idols. For the Channel 4 Newsroom, this is Nelson Howard.
Elsewhere in the news, because of their daily television visits to the homes of their admirers, soap opera stars become a part of their fans' lives. In the final part of his special series, An Inside Look at the Soap Operas, entertainment editor Nelson Howard found out that the fanatic followers of daytime TV can cause some sticky situations for the stars.
Daytime drama has been unfolding on radio and television for half a century. But soaps are bigger than ever in the 80s because of 40 million fans who have turned on and tuned in with a never-dying loyalty. Their devotion has turned soap operas into a billion-dollar business and spawned new industries like soap paraphernalia and magazines that tell followers everything they ever wanted to know about their favorite stars. Just how far will fanatics go to ensure their daily habit?
There was someone in a part of Texas. It was a woman who wrote in and said she could no longer get her favorite program, and her husband would bring a line in from wherever it was possible if she could be sure that she could get her program.
Fans not only change their lives for soaps, but they've also changed the lives of their favorite stars.
Once in a railway station, I had to wait 2 hours in a snowstorm for a train, and people followed me all around the station, and there was nowhere to go. So I ended up sitting in the booth in the ladies' room with the door locked.
Erica likes men a lot, too, and I mean, she's never been too difficult in the past, so I mean, I've tried to be pulled out of cars, and I've had bodyguards from time to time, but I think that's just misplaced enthusiasm.
There's a certain schizophrenia that occurs when you walk down the street and they call you Jamie as opposed to Richard, and you begin to almost accept that fact. You say, hi, how are you? And you begin to think of yourself as that character, especially if you're working a lot.
People sometimes tend to get a bit confused between reality and the story, and it's really quite a compliment. They tend to think of you as that character.
That strong identification with characters has kept soap fanatics for decades coming back for more.
The wonder about serial is that the story never stops. It can just continue and continue and continue. Serials never die.
So much fun making them. Very few soaps fade away because millions of addicted viewers religiously
join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Another
Join
World.
us again for The Young and the Restless.
The award-winning Guiding Light. The fashions provided by Lily Rubin.
I really enjoyed that series.
Very nice.
Very good.